Hey guys, Mark here. Quick little video about how to change your tail boom, your tail motor, the tail fin. It's basically just how to get all this off. Now I mentioned before you can't take your tail motor off unless you have a soldering iron. The reason being you have to unsolder these wires back here. So if you need to take your tail motor off, you're going to have to unsolder the wires and you heat up your soldering iron and you can just kind of touch it to them and the wires will pop off. You can see there's one. Wires are a little tight back here. And there's two. Alright, so both wires are off. So now what I can do, go ahead and set that off to the side. Come over to this side, and I'm just going to take my fin off here to get it out of the way. There we go. So the tail motor, it's just got the two screws right there, and they are small screws, so be careful not to lose them. Take them out. I'm just going to let them drop on my desk here. Hopefully they don't roll to the carpet. And there you go, tail motor. So now when you put this back in, you're going to have to solder them wires back on there. And there is a little mark on here as for which one's positive. So now onto the tail boom. Well, real quick, let's go to the tail fin. Tail fin is held in by one screw. And go ahead and you pop this screw out right here. Now, you can't take this off until you take your tail motor off. And the reason being, you see the wires back here? The wires, see that? So now, if you had to replace this, you can go through and replace this. Okay, onto the tail boom. Now, the tail boom is held in by one screw, and you can just take this screw off, this one right here. But whatever you do, when you take the screw off, don't pull the boom out. And I'm going to show you why here in just a second. Alright, well, the screw's on the floor. So now the first thing I'm going to do before I pull the tail boom out is I'm going to disconnect my wires off my 4-in-1, and I'll show you here in a second why. Now, for your 4-in-1, for your servo wires, the white wire, you always want to make sure it's towards where it says channel 1, channel 2, whatnot. You want the black wire facing down. So servo 1, channel 1 is the back servo. Channel 2 is your front servo. So I'm going to take both of these out. And mine just kind of sits in place back here. So I'm going to slide it up and out of the way. Now this is why I told you not to take the tail boom out. What you need to do is take your wire and pull it out of the boom first. Now you can go ahead and pull the boom out. And it can be a little hard. And this is why I told you not to pull the boom out until you took the wire out. The wire fits up through a hole in here and goes into the tail boom, into this hole. So now, but the thing is if you were to pull the boom out with the wire still in there, basically what it's going to do is it's going to cut it right off. And then you're going to have a broken wire. So that's why you want to take your wire out first so that you don't cut it when you pull the boom out. Now, what I plan on doing before I put this back in is I'm going to notch this with my rotary tool and just open that up to make putting this back in just that much easier. And I'll show you here in a second. Okay, so now I'm going to get ready to put this back in. But like I said, I notched this out. You can see here. With my little rotary cutoff tool. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wire here for my tail boom, or for tail motor. And I'm going to slide this up and through and out the back of the tail boom block. Alright. Now, because I've got that little notch out of there now I can just slide these down the tail boom. They're out the back. And now I can just slide this in there and have no problems with the wires. And now in the future, if I have to replace the tail boom, I don't have to mess with my 4-in-1 at all. I can just go ahead, undo the back, and pull it straight out there, and I'm good to go. So, installation is reverse of what we just did to take it apart. Again, the servo in the back here, your aileron servo, this is channel 1. Your elevator servo, the one in the front, that's channel 2. On your 4-in-1 here, you can see here, I've got the label. You want the white wire over here, you want the black wire down there. So, then you just go ahead, hook everything back up, and reminder, the tail motor does have a little mark on it to show you which side is positive. So, and you just solder that back on after it's all together, and you're good to go. So I hope that was helpful to you, and look for my other videos about the HoneyBee and all kinds of other helicopters. You can go to my website, find all kinds of other information. If you have a question for me, visit my forum. That's where I hang out. That's where you can ask me all the questions you need. Questions about the HoneyBee or anything in particular that you feel like asking me. So, once again, I hope this was helpful. Thanks a lot for watching, and have a good day.